I remember when I first started vlogging, it was so that I could talk to myself about stuff that was coming to my head, because I wouldn't have people to talk to about the crazy stuff, and also so that I could remember, what was what. So I was sitting here thinking about how I just woke up not that long ago too. I was sitting here thinking about I'm making a wire cage. Where is like this. This starts from this. You smash it down. Eek. Yup. So this one be a little bit bigger. But wows. Stuff like this. So anyway, I was thinking about how quickly our parents put things into our head and how quickly we take it on and we keep it forever. So I was thinking about, like, your mother can have a certain style of doing it and your father can have a certain style of doing it. So, like, one might laughingly, wittingly, jokingly, I'm going to turn this around. One might laughingly, wittingly, jokingly say something to you that's negative, and it'll stick. Another one might say something in a serious way to you and it'll stick. So, like, say, for instance, if you say to your parents, you say, yeah, I'm going to start me a business and I'm going to start selling lemonade at the edge of the driveway. And that parent looks at you instantly and says, I don't even know why you would even think about trying to do something like that. Who you think you are? You ain't no little white kid. This ain't that kind of neighborhood. And you'll be like, oh, okay. And you might come back with, well, I'm going to do it anyway, or whatever. The point is, immediately they had a comeback of something negative for you that went against something positive you said you wanted to say. So say, for instance, you say to your dad, say, for instance, you in your room playing or something like that, and your dad walks by and he says, who are you talking to? And you say, oh, nobody, I'm just talking to myself. I'm just sitting here. And immediately he says, well, if you talk to yourself, that's crazy. And it's even worse if you answer yourself. That means something wrong with you. And you think to yourself, I've been doing it, all my life, so how is that crazy? So immediately you got a comeback that was negative, and it's stuck in your head forever. So every time when you talking to yourself, thinking to yourself and talking to yourself, you immediately think, is that crazy? And even if you don't think it, if they hear you doing it again, if there's another time when you're talking to yourself, or even they might even jokingly say, I know you're not in there talking to yourself, are you? Because that's crazy, right? Crazy people do that, right? And laugh. And so now, you thinking to yourself, well, damn. Well, damn. And then the next time when you think, well, I'm not going to do a lemonade stand. I'm going to do, I'm going to get sticks together for people's yard, and I'm going to tie them in bundles of 10, and I'm going to go to their house and say, do you need any wood for your fireplace or your fire pit or whatever? And you think, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And your mom will say, what makes you think people going to want to buy sticks if they can get in their own yard? What makes you think that that's like something that, that's going to make you some money and like do you some good? That don't make no sense. And then you think to yourself, oh, well, damn, I thought I had. These naturally positive thoughts came to us when we were children, and they got killed by ants. Our parents were throwing ants, not throwing shade, they were throwing ants, automatic negative thoughts. And they would remind us, I know you're not in there trying to work on a little business. I know you're not in there talking to yourself. I know you're not in there thinking that you could train that dog in 2 weeks. I know you're not thinking, there was so much negativity that was built into our heads. Look at that. Ta-da. Yeah. So the thing is, it was like automatic and like overnight, and it was instant. So it just goes to show how we really do have to watch what we say and what we say to ourselves. And if we wouldn't say certain shit to our kids and stuff, then we shouldn't say those things to ourselves, and it happens overnight. So if a lot of us are coming out of this mess we've been in, right, for battling years and years of recordings that, we listen to, that's pretty. Look like a cyclone. Don't let me go start singing. But if we're coming out of this because we've been dealing with this for years and years and years, the same, negative recordings that we've heard over and over, then that lets you know that we have to really put in the work to get that shit out of our head. We're going to have to make some affirmations. We're going to have to, really work hard to combat that, because that stuff was instant, and then we replayed that stuff for 30, 40, 50 years. And then we get in this spiritual journey and we're like, yes, I am a king, I am a queen, I am this. And the next day we get up still feeling like shit. Well, that's because, look, That stuff had 30 years longer. Look at that. That shit had 30 years longer to brew and marinate in your head than anything that you're thinking about now. So just like we learned that kind of stuff overnight, we can learn new things overnight. And we can learn new things overnight. We just have to work on it and tell ourselves a whole new truth and realize that it's instant, that it happens instant. Oh, that's kind of cute. But look at that. Realize that it happens instantly. It happens instant. So start programming your mind with things the opposite of what you were told. And if you need to sit down and make a list of all the things that you were told that holds you back now, you know, I was told this was dumb. I was told this was stupid. I was told my idea about this. You know, just make a whole list and then go through it. Go through it. And then write a new sentence about that. Or let yourself, know that that's not true. You don't believe that shit and you want something different now. You want something totally different now. Oh, I want a different one. You want something totally different now. And you can do it. And then when you stop and think about how instant those things were that they said to you, how did they have an instant response to you without even thinking? How could they say something so negative to you without even thinking about it first? How could they instantly be like, because that's crazy. Because that's stupid. Or what make you think? It's got to be because they were told the same thing too. And when grown-ups, let's say you got a 35-year-old grown-up telling this to like a 10-year-old kid, So if they 35 and saying that same thing, that means they had 35 whole years or 30 years, let's say, to brew on that and to remember that and then to pass that shit on. I was just sitting there thinking about like, man, so much of us suffer from that, I think that's too big. Too so many of us suffer from that and we don't realize why, and I'm always saying kill ants. And I wasn't planning this, so I'll have to like find a song that fits this better. Because this is too pretty and I don't want to mess it up. But look how that looks compared to this. Let's see. Whoopsie. But yeah, so, a grown-up, is giving this kind of bad advice. And what made this come about, I was watching a movie, right? I was watching a movie. And this lady had a child. And the child was, like, so smart, And she was so intelligent and just had talents and all of that. And her mama was crazy as hell. But her mama had talents as well. Her mama was super talented. And so whenever the girl would, like, exhibit these smart tendencies, these talented ideas, that she would do, she would be reminded that she acting like her mama and she didn't want to do it. But even though her mama was like an art person, she had like a gallery selling paintings. Everybody all over the world loved her, but she was crazy as a Betsy bug. But that's because she was in touch on a higher realm and nobody really got it. She didn't even get it herself. So she was like drinking herself to death and, going even more nuts. And she was trying to prove that she not only was she a person, but she also was this passionate soul that had talent and could do more than just be a wife and be a mother and stuff like that. And she wasn't getting the support. So it was kind of driving her nuts. So then the daughter, she was, making herself grow up more rigid along with her father, and not be as talented, but be more this pen and paper office worker type person, and whenever she did want to touch into her creative side, a little bit, it would be like, she would have these flashes of her mother spinning in circles, laughing with a paintbrush. And I was like, man, that's so messed up. And I was like, sitting there thinking, parents is crazy. Parents is crazy as hell. Look at her. Like, she acting a whole fool. But I'm like, but parents can't help but act a whole fool even though they're grown because they've been programmed from a little child and from another grown-up that everything that they come up with is crazy. Everything they think about is stupid. Everything they want to do cannot be accomplished. All the while, they may see other people and their counterparts going right past them doing the same stuff. Their moms encouraging them and taking them places and dropping them off and putting them in different classes and stuff. I mean, I lived it. I see it. So seeing it on the movie, I was like, damn, parents are crazy. It don't make no sense. But then I had to realize why. Parents are crazy because they've been told crazy shit their whole life when they were trying to do something genius. So there's a genius inside everybody. Everybody has a child genius, prodigy inside them right now that can do some amazing stuff and is worried about looking stupid, worried about all this. Because it was another post that I saw. And it was a little kid doing something, something so good and intelligent and funny. And it was like, wow. And I saw like a bunch of videos like that day. And everybody was like, this child's been here before. This child got an adult spirit. Like the reason why the child is doing it so good is because they're really an adult on the inside. No, that's not true. No, really, they're a child on the inside. They let themselves come here and be a whole child. So they're a child on the inside, and children have free spirits. So as a result, that means they're not worried about looking stupid. They're going to get it. And the more you encourage them, get it, the more they're going to dance harder, faster. They might turn around, bust a split, all kind of stuff, do a flip, you name it, fall down, get back up and keep on going, And that's because they have a child spirit inside of them. And that childlike spirit is being fed when we encourage them. So that's not like, to me, that's not an adult spirit. So we as adults sitting up with all these, we like to watch these children like that because it reminds us of something inside ourselves and something that we wish we could do because we wanted to do a long time ago, but we couldn't. So it's like, as a result, we sitting there worried about looking stupid because now we're an adult with a job. We got to wear adult clothes and stuff like that. It's like, no, you don't. That's the part of the thing about spirituality and about becoming you and being your own self. You wouldn't put these same attributes to God's, to any other gods, not at all. But we are here with a piece of that seed of God inside of us, and God is like, go play in the field, go do it. And we put our own selves in a box and we limit our own selves. So how can we do that if we're representing God and God says, do whatever you want, enjoy yourself? So we as adults, we have to like come off of that. We have to like reprogram our mind. And it's not about, the powers that were, the matrix and all of that. Just as simple as all the stuff you got told when you was a child. You got told when you were a child not to do, what's stupid, what's not, and all of that. I really want to do this, but I don't want to mess it up. Not to do, stuff like that. And it's like it came right from our own house, right from our own parents and our own family. And it's because they got told the same thing too. They were told the same exact thing. Oh, you know what? I'm going to start doing this way from my own. Because they got told the exact same thing, when they were coming up. And they knew it wasn't cool. And for some reason, I don't know what makes them think it's okay to tell us. Maybe, I don't know if they think that it's okay to tell us. I think it's automatic. I think they've been told so much, you stink, that as soon as you walk out looking like you sweating, they say you stink. Before they even think about it. And it's like, well, maybe, maybe I don't. It's kind of funny. But anyway, so this is an idea of how that turns out. Is that pretty? I haven't worked with it, but because this needs to go over that. But yeah, so that's like I just made a whole wire cage, just like that. And I'll make like a little jump ring, for up here like this. And then we got it. And the good thing about making it this way yourself and having that in the middle closure, open enclosure that you just made, you can bend it back and put the crystal in easier, and then you can manipulate it how you need and tighten it up and go from there. But I can't do all that and talk. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty. And this is a calcite quartz that I dug up from the mines myself. Yeah. But anyway, we need to grow up by going down back to our childhood, and everybody need to start acting like that child who was fearless, Superman, did things like that. That's what I'm doing. I'm perpetually 18 in my head, having a good time, enjoying myself all the time. I remember I was told, you can't be laughing and smiling like that through the whole life. Life ain't that happy. And I was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I realized that I thought about that all the time. And whenever I felt extra happy, I would think, ooh, you're being too happy. Ooh, you're having too much fun. Ooh, you need to calm down. But no, that was me vibing high. And then when other people start telling us, ooh, you created that masterpiece overnight or over the weekend, that's beautiful. But is that crazy? Is that manic? Like, is something wrong with you that you that much of a genius and you did something so amazing? Now, does that even add up? Hearing something like that, does that even add up? No, it doesn't. But stuff like that, will teach us to start second guessing ourselves young. You happy, you having a good time, you creative, you just buzzing out stuff left and right, and you got people in your ear saying, I think that's kind of crazy. But then everybody looks at the stars, they worship the stars, they worship the people on TV, and they be doing that kind of stuff left and right, So show the world the real you, be the true you. Look at that little bitty piece right there on top. Show the world the real you, be who you're supposed to be. Talk to yourself like you're that child, how the child needed to be taught, and make sure you do that to your kids. And we need to do that to each other too. We need to get together and go outside and play. Peace, family. Damn, I was just sitting here thinking about that. What I just said about those automatic negative thoughts. And a lot of times people do that to each other. As adults, we do that to each other. That's how we keep it going across the board, like outside of your family. Like you'll see somebody trying to start a business or do something new, and our automatic negative thoughts towards what they doing is what we heard. I know she's not trying to start no business with that. I know she's not trying to dance, and I know, is that all she's trying to do? I don't get like, and it's like, that's what prevents us from encouraging each other. That's what prevents us from sharing each other's work. People make those reels about, how come your business not blowing up? It's like, because you didn't share my shit. And it's like, your own friends may not share your shit. So you might have 20 friends, and you started something new, and they might be like, ooh, that's so pretty, ooh, I love it, but they won't share it, and they won't tell nobody. Because in their head, what's going on in their head? It's something negative. It's something negative. It's something negative towards you or themselves. Most times it's a reflection back on them. Like, but it's like, ooh, how you doing that? I want to be able to, I always want to do something like that. And it's like, you have, and so as a result, it's like, it's not going to be like a positive thing. You know, it's like, I don't want to share her stuff or share his stuff to make them bigger. And that's what I always wanted to do. What? You know, it's like, you got to stop and think about that. You know, we help keep that going instead of saying, oh, I always wanted to do that too. And she's brave enough to do it. He's bold enough to do it. I wonder how they did that. Let me send them a message and be like, hey, how'd you do that? How'd you get encouraged? You know, what website did you use? What da-da-da-da-da? Was it a program? And then you get that and you use that and then you be that too. It's okay for us to copy off of each other and be like each other because that's all the celebs do. And that's all we do is watch them because that's what we like and we want to do, you know. But we push that off onto each other, you know. That negativity that we learned growing up in our house, we push that narrative on other people too. Like, just because we can't do it, we push it on them too. Like, it's crazy. I just thought about that. Because I know a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people, but I see a lot of people not supporting each other, like, right in front of their face. And it's like, why? Why? Why is it the case? It's the same programming that gets passed from generation to generation in the house and outside the house and across the board. If your friends like your stuff and like what you're doing or your business or whatever it is you're doing, if they like it and you say, you know, share it for me or whatever, and they don't or they won't, why? You know, everybody got to think about that. So we got to rise up and we got to rise up and out of here together. But it means a whole different mindset. We have to change. You know, we have to change how we look at each other, how we think about each other. And, you know, we can practice on each other. You know, if you can't get it right for yourself yet, then try to get it right for somebody else. You know, I ain't got my shit together yet, but they working on theirs. I'm going to help them. The more you help them, then the more you're going to be confident. And I'm going to tell you something. When I do readings for people, you know, 1 a day, sometimes 2 a day, something like that, I get encouraged. I get encouraged from other people's readings because that's spirit talking and giving you encouragement, giving you the build up. I remember when I used to do nails, when I was a nail tech, and I'll be doing people's nails and they'll be like falling asleep. You know, I'll be massaging their fingers and hands all up their arms and stuff, hand on massage, and they would just be so asleep. And then when it would be time for me to paint their nails, and I would, you know, be holding their hand and, you know, with the polish trying to do it in 3, they would be jerking their hand. I'd be like, oh, and they'd be like, oh, I'm just so relaxed. I'm so relaxed. So I would feel so relaxed too afterwards. I would feel relaxed from what I was doing, but I would also feel relaxed because I know that I was helping them to relax. And that sense of satisfaction for me, you know, is dual. You know, it helps them and then it helps me. So that's why when I help myself, it helps the world. And that's what my Kali Ma, my mom, the messages that she gives to me is like, I'm going to help you for the benefit of all beings. Not I'm going to help you for you, so I'm going to help you for the benefit of all beings. Because she knows when she helped me, I'm going to automatically talk about it, automatically share, automatically try to make it better. That's just how I live. That's just, I wake up doing stuff as if somebody was watching me do it and me teaching them or helping them or showing them. It's automatic. I don't have to try to think about it. It's automatic. It's how I wake up. But I think a lot of us are like that. A lot of us are like showmen, you know, and we have to work on our showmanship for the right reasons to help each other, to help us elevate, help us get up out of here together, meaning moving to the next level of ascension together. So it could be good for all of us. If I got it, you got it, you know, type thing. So let's not bring the narratives from our home, from our, you know, broken record homes, you know, home training. Let's not bring that into each other, you know, and across the board. It's just the only way, you know. They're gonna know. They're not gonna know. They're gonna know. That's what I was thinking. But anyway, let's help each other and elevate.